My name is Mazi Iyke. Ike Peters. I hail from Newi. Newi is in Newi province of Biafra land. And welcome to this edition. Today is the 24th day of February 2021. So what I'm going to do this morning before I go into, because I don't want to start playing the national anthem because it's already on our leaders broadcast, I'm going to repeat yesterday's broadcast for those of you who did not listen to it. I wouldn't tell you the lie. I did not listen because I didn't know it was coming on. It took me by surprise. However, this morning I'm going to aid so all of us will listen to it together before we make our phone calls and have our conversation. From our leaders broadcast of yesterday, this is Radio Biafra. Please stay tuned, don't go away. Let's listen to our leader.
For sure, one day we must be free. Elohim, yeah, we told us to go. Biafra is guarantee. Yeah, people around the world will around. Pray for peace to reign, pray for peace to reign. Father, money everywhere. Pray for peace to reign. We got to sing, we got to sing. Make a human, make a human. We got to sing, we got to sing. We got to human, make a human. Innocent people are dying every day. Church children are crying every day. Let me tell you what you need to know. Freedom is guarantee. Let me tell you what you need to know.
So if you do listen to this program later on, if the time where you are is not 12 minutes past the top of the hour, then you know that you are listening to a repeat broadcast. I welcome each and every one of you, regardless of where you are. And as I welcome you, please allow me to also urge you to welcome all those who are around you. We are live and we are direct, and the entirety of humanity is paying attention to what we are doing. And this very evening, of course, it gladdens my heart that a lot of people are now repenting from their old ways. They have now come to embrace the truth, which Ipob have for long represented. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to each and every one of you. Because unlike any other, this very broadcast simulcast on almost 5 platforms. We are on FM, we are on satellite, we are on social media, be it Facebook, we are also on Twitter, we are on Radio Biafra Community App. We are also on Radio Biafra app. Some may want to listen via tuning, Sweet Radio, just name it. We are everywhere. And that is why the propagation of this very gospel is unstoppable. It doesn't matter what the enemies do. It doesn't matter what they will continue to do. We remain resolute. We remain unflappable. We remain determined. We remain unbreakable. And that is why we do not retreat nor surrender. That is why today the philosophy of Ipob, this very ideology we have preached for years, is now holding sway right across the length and breadth of the damnable zoological republic. As always, my name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. I did promise you that I'll broadcast every 2 days because there is need for people that inhabit that damnable zoological republic to understand that their lives are in peril. And together we are going to do whatever it will take to ensure that we save as many souls as possible. That is why we are here, and that is why we ceaselessly continue to preach this very gospel of redemption. But first of all, we must pray before I bring to you what we have in store for you this very day. And I will pray, of course, in the language of heaven. The also says it Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile anya anyị na-efe na agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile. Chineke na nke ndị gboo onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ mmalite n'ụsọtụ onye anyị ji eme ọnụ onye anyị ji anya isi anyị enweghị ikike ọ bụla eze ebube ọ bụ naanị gị ka anyị ji eme ọnụ n'ihi na ewezuga gị ama ndị na-achịwa anyị ọchị mana ọ bụ site n'ebere gị na amara gị ịhụnanya gị mmeso ọma gị ma ji wee nọdụ were n'ụbọchị nketa ma wee na-arịọ ihe ndị eze ebube dị ngọzi ka ị wee mee ngwa ngwa ka ị bịa zọpụta ndị gị ka ị bịa napụta ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra n'aka ndị iro ka ijikwa otu aka eze ebube dị ngọzi wee zọpụta ndị Yoruba Oduduwa dịkwa ka ị wee zọpụta ndị Middle Belt onye nwe m nke kachasị nke biko nye anyị amamihe na ezi echiche nye anyị ezi nghọta nye anyị ezi ịhụnanya mmekọta nwanne na nwanne ozi nna dị ngọzi bịakwa eze ebube onye ebere ka isi wee tinye ihere n'etiti ndị iro anyị n'ụbọchị nke taa ha wee na-eri anụ onwe ha akasị ha wee baa ha ọnụ bịakwa ka iwee si etu eze ebube dị ngọzi bịa ka iwee tisasịa ọlụ aka ha niile bụ nke ha ụmụ ha kwadoro iji wee megide ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra bịakwa ka iwee chụghachi ndị dị etu azụ ma tinye ọgba aghara n'etiti ha bụ ndị na-akpagharị wee na-akpagbu ụmụ gị bịakwa eze ebube dị ngọzi ka i wee chụghachi ha azụ n'ụzọ ọjọọ nke ha na-aga ka ụgwọ ọrụ ndị dị etu a ma hope ụzọ dị mma ma ndị janjawid niile ma ndị kalifet bụ na-achị obodo kwe nzuzu ka ihere ha wepụta ihe ma lekwa anya onwe anyị bụ ndị na-achị iru gị bụ ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra ụmụ Ipob n'ụwa niile anya onwe anyị bụ ndị nwe ezi ịhụnanya na ezi mmasị ebe ntụziaka iwu gị nọ anya onwe anyị bụ ndị mgbe niile na-aja aha nsọ gị mma na-asị ka anyị bulie gị elu Chineke nna ka anyị bulie gị elu ọkaka ka anyị bulie gị elu onye ọ bụla ya na-achị ma leenụ na anyị bụ ụmụ ogbenye anyị enweghị ego ka obodo ekwensu bụ zuu si nwee anyị enweghị ego ka Britain si nwee bụ ndị na-ehi ha aja n'ukwu anyị enweghị ego ka ndị iro anyị mana ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-edu anyị ezi nna dị ebere marụ mgbe ebighị ebi n'ihi na ọ bụ n'ime gị ka anyị gbabaworo nna nke igwe were na-arịọ nchekwa gị n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye enyemaka ụmụ Biafra ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye nzọpụta ọ bụ naanị gị ka a na-etu Elohim Adonai El Shaddai Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile biko nụ bịa ka ime ọsọ ọsọ wee napụta ụmụ gị na abụ ọjọọ nke Britain kebara ha n'ime ya ka ọ ga-abụ na ikpete mazụ na Biafra ga-abịa eluigwe n'ụwa ga-agba aka ebe ịhụnanya gị n'ime ndụ ụmụ gị anyị ga-asị na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna bụ na-ekwesị ntụkwasị obi kwere n'ihi Biafra ụwa niile ga-etigheta azụ wee ma na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-eme amara otuto na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma dịrị sọsọ aha nsọ gị onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onye kere ya ugbu a ma ruo mgbe niile ebighị ebi ka anyị na-arịọ gị ise we must pray in the language of heaven because that is the same language that the angels are using when they bow before the throne of the Almighty in heaven. We are going to preach this gospel today. As you may have noticed, my voice is very calm. I want you to get your pen and paper ready. Abandon every vestige of greed, envy, and jealousy. That's your I too know brain. I know it back once again. They're doing all they can to disrupt us, to stop us from spreading this very gospel of redemption. But we are back here live and direct once again, and I believe that all our platforms are working. There are those that have taken it upon themselves to inform me each time that there is a wobble. I need to know that all our systems are working very well. I want to know that all our systems are fully operational. Very, very important, please. Our enemies will try all they can to distract us. Please, I do need confirmation that all our systems, that our output from here is working very well. That is what I want to know, please. Very, very critical, please, that I get this confirmation. Is anybody able to confirm with me? Even if yes, we are okay. We are okay. Somebody's saying we are okay. I can see most of the comments. I think it's on Facebook. And Natubugo is listening to us on Twitter via my Twitter handle at Mazi Iyke. Yes, I don't know if they have fixed it. We have fixed it, of course, here. Yes, they can now hear me. It is now working. Thank you very much. NDBC, thank you very much, all of you. Donatus Nkem, thank you very, very much. Chieme Okoro said, yes, that it is now working. It is now working. So we are live and we are direct. Once again, it is very clear. And the whole world, they don't want me to preach this gospel because they know what it contains. I call it the end of discussion. After this very program this evening, people will begin to have a more deeper appreciation of the enormity of the task that is before us and what we are doing to rectify the uselessness that Nigeria has become. We must preach. First of all, this very evening, morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are, there is no country, nation, or geopolitical space on this earth where a black man is in control of his life, talk less of his destiny. I want you to write this thing I'm saying down, please. Very, very critical. You write it down because what we are going to do, as always, is to try to build a very necessary preamble, lay the foundation upon which we are going to rest our lecture this very evening, this very gospel from heaven. I repeat, and I'm saying there is no country or nation on this very earth where a black man is in control of his life, talk less of his destiny. I know some of you may mention Barack Obama, that he was the president of the USA, but during Obama's reign in the USA, black people were more disadvantaged than at any time in U.S. history. Had Obama's reign in America, or should I say his presidency, been a success, you wouldn't have issues like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter because racist, white police people in America were slaughtering blacks at will. That is after a black man had become the president of the United States of America. Why I'm saying that is for you to grasp the essence of the point that I'm trying to make. That there is no country, nation, or geopolitical space on this very earth where a black man is in control of his life. And I'll bring that to the zoo very, very shortly. Sometimes I wonder if God created us or God made we black people and handed us over as slaves and farm animals to serve other races. That is why anywhere you go around the world, once you are black, you are very close to the dustbin. Do you know they have a caste system in India? Do you know the lowest caste in India are black people? Do you know in Sri Lanka they have a caste system? Do you know that the lowest caste of people, they are black people? Do you know that black people are also suffering in Papua New Guinea? Do you know that they are at the bottom of the pile? I am saying all these things so you understand why these criminals, these vultures, these workers of iniquity are all against Biafra. A simple point I'm trying to make. Because when people are down, you need a force, you need a movement, you need a figure, you need a people to raise everybody up. When Asia was down, it fell upon Japan to lift the whole of Asia. When the Western world was down, it took the grit and the might of the United States of America to grind through the Second World War and still be able to rebuild Europe. Europe was rebuilt with money from the United States of America. Nobody's doubting that. At every period in history, you have always needed a race or a people to stand up and say, or to say enough is enough. it has fallen upon our generation, this very generation of IPOB, and we are saying enough is enough. And of course, and very predictably, we are encountering stiff opposition because the devil doesn't want Biafra to come. The devil doesn't want Biafra to come because the devil enjoys it, because black lives do not matter. Because all over the world, there is no place, there is no country where a black man is in control, or black people for that matter, man and woman, even black dog is in control of their lives. I want you to understand that challenging this very prevailing orthodoxy is the reason why we have so many people within and without against this very promise of God. The same thing happened to Israel. Nobody wanted the Jews to have their own homeland. Nobody wanted them to have it. Even before time, even to leave Egypt and go, they were complaining of exactly the same thing happening in the zoo, because I don't know, for some inexplicable reason, I'm in a spiritual mood this very week. For some reason, the same thing that happened to Israelites are happening to us. If you go to the northern part of the Zoological Republic, they're complaining. They are everywhere. These Easterners, these Biafrans, these Ipob people, they're everywhere. They own the shops, the businesses, and everything. That is envy and jealousy. We want them to go. We don't want them in our land. The same thing that Pharaoh said. We don't want Israelites in our land. But to allow the Israelites to go was a problem. There's something happening in Nigeria. You are complaining every blessed day, and we are saying allow us to go, and you're saying no. The same biblical scenario being played out in a contraption created by man in Africa in the 21st century. How abominable can that be? I want people to listen very carefully. I am not going to be very fast. I want you to absorb all that I have to say this very day. It's very, very critical you do so. A black person has no pride. The reason why I am throwing this line this evening is because I want you to understand the genesis of your problem. Black people do not have any shame. They have no pride. They have no class. They have no sense of decency. Why am I saying this? I know some people are grumbling already, saying, oh, why he's insulting black people? No, I'm not insulting you. I want you to be able to reason. I want you to reason very, very clearly, please. Do you know why I say you have no shame, black people? If you had any shame at all, there is no way any white man can travel up to 4,000 miles and come to your land and take away your name and give you his own name. Do you want me to repeat what I said? Let me tell you why black people are suffering, why we are the lowest of the low, why anywhere we are in the world, people treat us as if we're trash, basically. It's because we have no regard for ourselves. We have no pride. We have no honor. We have no dignity. Can you tell me why any sensible black person, any sensible human being would call himself a Nigerian? Can somebody please explain that to me? Did you create Nigeria? The answer is no. And now, the other part of the coin is, can you go, the person that came and created Nigeria, can you go to his village and create, let's say, Oduduwa or Hausa in that place? The answer is no. They came to our land. They took away the name Igbocha. They named it Port Harcourt. Some of you are shouting for every day, Port Harcourt, Port Harcourt. And I'm asking you, look at yourselves and what you're doing. Do you think you have any shame in you at all? Because if you had any shame, if you had any honor, you would have done at least what the Indians did. They changed all the names back to what they were before the white man came. And do you think you can go to Liverpool and rename that very beautiful city of Liverpool into anything else from Africa? Do you think the people of Liverpool will even listen to you? They will see you as a madman. Now I'm asking you, why should we in Africa accept it? Somebody will travel for thousands of miles, come into your land and tell you that your ancestors, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your great-great-great-grandfather, that they had no history. In one stroke of the pen, your life all of a sudden started in 1960. In 1960, your essence as a human being started. Tell me any sensible country in the world where the president is older than the country itself. And then the sensible question that any right-thinking human being should ask is this: what was my history before the creation of this thing you now say is my history? Simple research we do not do. Because had black people been engaged in very rigorous research, they would have a sense of pride and dignity. Even Native American Indians, they have dignity and pride. Europeans wanted to convert them to slaves, to use them in their farms. And the Indians, the native Indians in America said no. You know what they used to do? When the white man turns his back, the Indian will kill him. He may die in the process, he doesn't care. He would kill him. That way they realized that enslaving Indians or turning them into farm animals is not possible. And they went to Africa. In Africa, when they came, Africans only didn't serve them. Africans were willing to sell their relatives in order to please the white man. Because we have no shame and we have no pride. Why am I saying all of these things? Look at the case of Nigeria today. Somebody will come out and say that we are going to kill a particular set of people because they do not believe in what a white man created in Africa. In essence, that is what Lai Mohammed and the bandit sheikh is saying. The reason why we would not negotiate with IPOB is because they do not recognize the legitimacy of Nigeria to exist. Without looking at the reason why. That is the thing about black people. They never look at the reason. Nobody has ever bothered to sit down and say, why is IPOB insisting that things cannot continue the way they are? Of course, I'm very happy that some of them have now come around. They're beginning to reason like human beings. They are now beginning to reason like human beings. I don't know why a black man has no pride. If you have a pride in you as a black person, you cannot open your mouth and call you Gwacha Port Harcourt. You cannot open your mouth and say Nigeria is my country. It shows you do not value yourself. You don't even trust yourself. You don't even trust your ancestors. You don't even trust God that made you the way you are. You have no shame inside you. That is why white people can come to Africa and draw our boundaries for us. Give us names they want us to bear. Even those of you who are in Christendom, when during baptism, you see how clever they are. During baptism, they tell you to throw away your old name. You shouldn't answer Angoreka. Don't answer Ifeinwe. Don't answer Chibuzo. It's not good. Why don't you answer Raphael or answer Isabella? That has no meaning. I want to point out instances as to why people out of ignorance and foolishness defend one Nigeria. Anybody defending one Nigeria is an ignorant fool. He's a fool and is going to remain a fool forever. It means you are daft, you're hopeless, and you're very stupid. You have no brain. Had Nigeria been created by people coming together, as most people had campaigned for or agitated for many years ago, but lacked the balls to execute it. Had the likes of Shoyinka and the Tinubu insisted that what we want is a and Abakoba, of course, sovereign national conference. No matter what the Janjaweed is doing, no matter what Britain is doing, you say no, we want sovereign national conference, and then after that a referendum. But today you have pride. People wonder why we are the way we are. We are the way we are because Biafra was the first African country, second African country to taste freedom, genuine freedom. Not flag independence. Not neo-colonialism. No. Genuine freedom for 3 years. The children they gave birth to is carrying on from where their father stopped. Because you know why? We are Biafrans, and in us there is a lot of pride. A lot of pride. I have told this story so many times, and I'm sure that even some people may be bored of hearing me, but I will say it once again. One of the things that formed my outlook on life was Alex Haley's book I read, Roots. I think I was a 17-year-old when I read Roots. I read Roots, and a very brilliant book, I must say. There's an adaptation of it. I think it's a movie now as well. So some of you who are not taken to reading very voluminous text, you can go and avail yourself of the cinematic interpretation of that very brilliant book. Roots. R-O-O-T. More of Roots. R-O-O-T-S. Alex Haley. In that very book, that was why when anytime, or the 2 previous occasions I went to America, I had to go to Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. From there, I drove, or somebody drove me. Uche drove me for, what's his name? What's his name again? I've forgotten his name. I don't know if it's old age that is coming. I keep forgetting things these days. I've forgotten his name, but it will come to me. He drove me for 5 hours. He's based there in Atlanta. We went to a place called Savannah. Because when I got into Georgia, you see, I said to them that I want to go and see that very place that an Igbo man said he will not be a slave to a white man. I went there and I prayed. And that very place is called Savannah. And the woman that has the house, that her garden is actually on the very spot at the bank of this very creek where they drowned themselves. She was enthralled. She said, yeah, people come around here to have a look. We were there to pray. You see, at that very spot was when white people realized who we are. That these people are a very, very proud race and very stubborn. You see, they brought them all the way from Onitsha. In fact, basically in Obaro, they took them from Obaro and traveled all the way to US, men, women, and children. And when they inquired what they are there for, why they bound them in chains and brought them all the way to America, the white man said they are going to be sold as slaves to work in the farm, to become somebody else's property. And they said, instead of me to become a fellow human being's property, I would rather die. Do you know the reason why this part of black history is not given due prominence? It's because it will teach our children who we are, that we are a very proud race. That is why people must understand, when they look at Biafra IPOB agitation, they must understand where we are coming from. If you are another race, you may be comfortable with being a slave. That is your business. But where we come from, in the land, the original land of the free, where God Almighty in heaven is the king. Biafra was a kingdom where only God in heaven is the king. That all men are born equal before God and fellow men. We gave the world democracy. Biafra gave the world democracy before the Greeks came. Don't take it from me, take it from the white people teaching it in the universities. In Argentina, that is what they teach. It's a fact. That is why they don't want Biafra to come. Because you are the light of the black race. That is why Janjaweed can't understand us, because their reasoning is too low and is too poor. They know nothing. They know absolutely nothing. They don't know. When you see us agitate for Biafra, you kill us, you don't know what is driving us. Do you think we are doing this thing out of our own? What we are doing is of the spirit. Unless you are in the spirit, you can't understand it. If you're a zoo animal, you cannot understand the Biafra. You can never do. Never in your life. You are in a country where somebody created for you. 1960, Nigeria won independence. In your life started in 1960. And every day you wake up as a grown-up person, lettered and educated, you don't ask yourself, what is the history of my grandfather? You don't ask. Because you are black. And every nonsense that comes to you, you accept. Ask yourself why we go on protest. You kill us, we go on protest. You kill us, we keep going. You kill us, we keep going. Have you ever wondered why? Do you think that what we are doing, that we even know what we are doing? No, we don't. What is driving us? What is driving our essence is something beyond the comprehension of a black person in Africa. You can't understand it. That is why Biafra is an enigma. Only the intelligent can. Only the intelligent who are in the spirit can. And because Biafra is down, that is why black people are suffering all over the world. Do your envy all you like. Be jealous. So unless Biafra is free, you can never be free. All of you together. So it is in the best interest of everybody to join hands together that we may liberate ourselves. Now let me ask you this very simple question. All their years of restructuring debate, all their years of sovereign national conference, all their years of talking for constitutional change, has anything happened? No. Ask yourself, why is it now that everybody is talking about change, that something must give? Had IPOB crawled back into its shell at the height of the persecution, do you think that we would have given people the courage to say what they're saying today? People are saying what they are saying because they know that the zoo was unable to suppress IPOB. Anybody talking anywhere in Nigeria is because of IPOB. Anybody anywhere standing up and shouting, it is because of IPOB. Do you know why? Because that's how God intended it. You see that race of people from the east, from Igodomigodo, all the way to Ambazonia. People of the east. You see that very little place that Islam could not come into. You see that very place? Do you know that it was done for a purpose? Do you know that the time Islam was making it to the west coast of Africa, every country in West Africa, Islam, Quran dipped, or they dipped Quran in the Atlantic. Only the east. Have you, people, I don't know, have you ever sat down to ask yourself why there is Islam everywhere else, but not in the east? Because you don't know. You see, because Elohim never wanted it. God never wanted it. The reason why God allowed white man to bring his New Testament into our land is because he wanted to teach us a lesson. We are doing very horrible things at our temple in Arochukwu. Very horrible things. And God was upset. The same thing that happened to the temple in Jerusalem was what happened to us. But after 2,000 years, Israel rediscovered itself. And when Israel was about to be established, they said, no, don't go into armed struggle. Don't do this. Keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. And a very brave man, Menachem Begin, of Likud Party, the founder of Likud Party in Israel, Menachem Begin, I think at one time was also the head of Mossad, was the prime minister. Courageous and brave man, loved by God and men, only hated by the enemies of God. He said, to hell with everybody. Do you know that it was Britain that was manning, they gave them what is called the Palestine Mandate, because by then they shared the whole world among themselves. They divided everything, all the colonial powers, they shared the world amongst themselves. Britain also got Israel. The same way Britain got the zoo with Biafrans in it, their own was Palestine, the Holy Land of Israel. And they asked Britain to leave, that the children of God, that God said the time has come for his children to return. Britain said no. Go and read your history books. Britain said no, they're not going anywhere. Do you know what Menachem Begin did? They used bomb and dynamite to blow the British away from the land of Israel. And in the end, Israel was restored. That is the reason why I love the Bible so much. When they say that the kingdom of God suffered violence, and only the violent can take it, and with force. If you study the history of Israel, it's very clear. When Israel was begging, oh, you're killing, you know what that thing we used to do? You're killing us here. Nobody will listen. They were slaughtering Jews all over the world, slaughtering them for nearly 2,000 years. Nobody did anything. Until one day, European Jews said, you know, they are going to kill us anyway. So we might as well put our life to a very good use while we still have it. We are going to have a state of Israel. And it happened. People said it wouldn't happen, but it happened. The same way we are going to have Biafra. It doesn't matter what you say. We have the lives to commit into it. And in the end it will come. Because nobody can come from a place called Nigeria. Only if you are an animal. Only if you are a compound fool. Only if you are a degenerate idiot. Only if you don't have any brain. I keep asking you, okay, let us take your family now, for example. All of us will have our own homes. Is that not correct? You have your wife, you have your children, and all the rest of it. And maybe some of you, as you're listening to this very broadcast this evening, you're with your family and you're eating and dining. Is that correct? Oh, how about if I walk into where you're eating now? It doesn't matter where it is. Let's say I walk into a family at Ipob this evening and say I am a Biafran. And by the way, I want you to change your name. This night, the name of this village. No, in fact, Ipob, I want you to change it. And I want you to call it Ipob the New Mbise. Are you following? What will you do to me? Even Janjaweed, if I were to go to Sokoto, doesn't belong to them. And I'm very happy today. There's a clip I will play, not audio, I will play for you to hear. And I'm sure our media will go and get it and spread it everywhere. When Mailafia was talking, Dr. Mailafia was talking on channels, that's Janjaweed TV station. He is, apart from we in IPOB, he is the only person I've heard use the word, the Habe Hausers. Today, I knew that the man, he reads his books, he's intelligent. When I mentioned the Habe monarchy, some of you don't know what it means. When I mentioned the Hausa, their name was the Habe, H-A-B-E, the Habe monarchies of the Hausa kingdoms. None of you knew what I was talking about. But today, my Lafia, I heard him say it. I go, to be honest, we are learned. I'm being honest with you. But we shall get to that later. We must change the way we reason, black people. And if you like it or not. As I warned you, as I explained to you a few days ago. As I explained to you people a few days ago. If you ask Angela Merkel, when they were exasperated with the presidency of Trump because they didn't understand him, they will say, these are European ministers. Oh, listen carefully to how white. Now I understand why white people, they have so much, they make so much progress. A white person, I heard Angela Merkel, the leader of the strongest nation in Europe, Germany. By none, Germany is the strongest nation in Europe. Do you know what she was saying? Oh, we want President Trump to show leadership. He is the leader of the free world. This is the German prime minister saying that another head of state is the leader of the free world because they understand that if America dies today or is suffering, they know they are all sunk. Do you think an African head of state will do that? You have jazz. Never. Pride and envy won't let them. Jealousy and greed can't allow them. That is why they don't want to give Biafrans credit. They know who we are. They know, as I said to them, how many hours did your protest last at Lekki? Not up to 5 minutes. They vacuum, swept all of you inside Black Maria, and the protest is over. Because I did not bring out IPOB. I did not bring out Biafrans in Lagos. Had I given the order, come out for protest, by today, the protest will still be on. It is nobody's fault That is how God made us. It is not, I am not bigoted. It is not about ethnic jingoism. It is not about a sense of racism. That is all rubbish. But the creation as we know it started in my land. Creation, God Almighty in heaven, chose Biafra land as the center of this very earth. 0 longitude and 0 latitude. Go and check your geography textbooks. 0 latitude and 0 longitude, where sunlight meets darkness. The center of this very earth is in Biafra land. That is why Britain created Greenwich Mean Time, moved it 1 hour to the left. Who doesn't know that? That is why they're afraid of us. That is why they cannot get any conviction in any court in the world. That is why they even are afraid of us, of trying us in their own courts. That is the reason why we are as formidable as we are. But the devil will try. The prince will try. As they did against the emergence of the glorious state of Israel. They will try, but they will fail in the end. Because we represent the light. Do you know that darkness has no power? You see darkness. You see, darkness has nothing feeding it. I want you to understand and relate this very analogy to the zoo called Nigeria. You see darkness, or actually darkness. You know when NEPA takes light, there is darkness everywhere. That darkness has no power. Darkness is only acting because there is no light. Once light comes, it disappears. And it can never come. As long as that light is on, darkness will never come close. Never, ever, ever. It can never come close. Have you do a simple experiment? Because you see, darkness, you know, when you're going out at night and there is no light, there is darkness everywhere, is because there is darkness in nature. Nothing is fueling it. There is no generator generating darkness. No, it's there, just there. Like Lucifer. Once, you see, for you to defeat darkness, you need to generate electricity or light. And to generate light takes energy. You must do something. You can't keep quiet. You must do something. If you don't do something, you continue to live in darkness. So that time you put the battery inside your torch and you on the torch. What happens? Darkness along that line flees. It can never come as long as your light is on. As long as your light bulb is on, there is no way darkness can come. But darkness, it doesn't cause darkness anything. Like the Fulani Janjaweed, it doesn't cause them anything to destroy. But to overpower them, you must come together. There must be synergy. There must be energy. There must be momentum. You must have that thrust. By thrust, I mean T-H-R-U-S-T, not T-R-U-S-T. Now you understand me, don't you? Now you understand me, don't you? I insult black people because I want them to develop some sense. Begging them doesn't work. This is black. But how can you explain to somebody who is a PhD holder, who is a professor? A professor will open his mouth and call his land Port Harcourt. You're a professor of maybe nuclear science. That means you have no shame and you have no pride. We all mask our collective impotence. You know, blacks are very impotent. Especially when you go onto Facebook and see the wish. When we are arguing about separation and freedom, many years ago, some idiots are talking rubbish. Nigeria, one Nigeria, patriotic Nigerian. Look at the idiot. Patriotic who? You mean patriotic product of Frederick Lugard? Nobody is a Nigerian. You dimwits, you morons. No human being is a Nigerian. That is how daft you people are. The sooner you search for salvation under your ethnic identity or nationality, the better for you. Shameless people. Who is a Nigerian? Let me ask you. Who? Is it the one from Mali with AK-47 somewhere in Mina, raping and killing people? People without a collection of people without honor or shame. God have mercy on your ignorance and the wretchedness of it. We love to mask our collective impotence by seeking solace in English language. That's most of us don't even know. You see one idiot writing writing grammar. Ask him to explain that grammar he doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's writing. But because the word sounds sweet, just like when we learned the phrase, circumstances beyond my control. Anything you ask somebody who says circumstances beyond my control, he doesn't know, but it sounds nice in the ear. So you say circumstances beyond, even out of context they use it. That is what happens to all these idiotic intellectual grammarians on Facebook, writing rubbish. Now listen. Imagine how powerless we have been for years to make minor, what I would even call insignificant change, like ordinary restructuring. Ask yourself this question. What would it cost Fulani to restructure Nigeria? Nothing. No, it doesn't. Nothing. Those championing restructuring did not say let's break Nigeria. No. They said let's make things better. Somebody somewhere said no. Go through your senators. Because they know they have the numerical strength to frustrate whatever motion or bill that you have on the floor of both the House of Reps and of the Senate. And somebody who is so blatantly disadvantaged will rise up in the morning and tell you he's a proud Nigerian. I want to demolish these intellectual Lilliputs. Let me put it that way. They are minions. They are nothing. They hide under grammar. They spend 4 days. They go to the dictionary, cramming every rubbish. They come on the right junk. Because they are inferior. Because, you see, an Englishman speaks English. And, they are so inferior that you have to write. You want to aspire to write like an Englishman so you can perhaps acquire some of the aura of an English person, so that your peers can respect you. But you are making an absolutely idiotic fool of yourself. As most of you may know, I have been to many countries around the world. There are people who write and speak their language with every pride. Every pride! You come and you speak, they say, oh, you speak English? You say, yeah, okay. Why don't you learn my language? Oh dear. Simple change, something as minor as let us go back to the regions that was working. Fulani said no. Only one group, and they're a minority. A bunch of Janjak, a minority. They are not up to 20 million. They're not up to 20 million. It's so ridiculous. I thank God that the houses have woken up after many years. Sometimes, if you're IPOB, you pat yourself on the back. You have changed so much. I'm telling you this. You have changed the thinking and the reasoning capacity of most people in that damnable zoological republic. And we must continue. We're going to stop. Imagine how are you hearing of sovereign national conference anymore? That one is dead, though. Simple, minor, even insignificant change like restructuring the political landscape. They said no. Because you're a black man, you don't have the power to do anything. This UG. Something that should help move a country forward. Some idiots in the same country. On the contrary, some of the so-called agitators for restructuring. You know what they're waiting for? They're waiting for Britain to say something. Not to say, but to do something. They want Britain to pick up the phone, the Prime Minister of Britain, US President, then call whoever is in Asorok and say, now it's time for restructuring. And do you know where they got that nonsense from? It was during Abacha's time. None of you were able to remove Abacha. He was a very deadly dictator, a very brutal one for that matter. Abacha was killing left, right, and center. Yet in Kano, there is Sani Abacha Stadium. Somebody who is acknowledged to be a mass murderer. The same thing they did with the regime, the murderous regime of Abacha, is what they are doing with Fulani headsmen, Mietiala, killers and murderers. They always defend their own. And somebody was, I remember in those days, they said their zoo national team, Green Eagles, were going to play a Super Eagle. I don't know what eagle they are now. Or maybe Dark Eagle or White Eagle, I don't know. That they were going to play a football match in Kano at a place called Sani Abacha Stadium. And I remember the white commentator saying, come on, Sani Abacha Stadium? Was that not the dictator? Hey, Shem left everybody and was doing me. Left everybody and was holding me. Now you understand it, don't you? The same way they are defending. Is it not Buhari, the dead one, or the real Buhari? When that dead Buhari was, do you remember when Buhari said that Abacha did not loot any money? Have you all forgotten? One Nigerians. You see the way you reason? That is why I feel sorry for all of you. You one Nigerians. Your stupidity cannot be weighed on a scale. Your idiocy is legendary. I'm telling you. Sani Abacha Stadium. And they said Abacha did not steal anything. Hiding under English. It's common restructuring you cannot do. Ordinary, everybody agrees it may help. You cannot do it because you're waiting for a white EU, white America, white Canada, white everywhere to do it for you. Because it was America that killed Abacha, not you. You are impotent and you're powerless. And it wasn't Africans that got independence for Africa. It was the United States of America warning Britain and the whole of Europe to get away from Africa. That was what happened right after the Second World War. Anybody telling you that they fought and they got their flag independence is a liar and is a deceiver. Do you understand? I think it was Harry Truman that said to Europe, oh, enough of that rubbish, that your useless colony you have in Africa. Get out! And they went out. The same thing happened during the Suez Canal crisis. Some of you may not know because you may be too young or you are ahistorical because you do not read books. There was a very brave, young military officer in Egypt called Gamal Abdel Nasser. And he killed, what's his name again? He killed the very moderate Egyptian prime minister, or they said he was killed by the, what's it called, Islamic Brotherhood. He assumed power. Britain left Britain. Oh. They want to come to Africa to be collecting toll gates, checkpoints. They set up checkpoints as Suez because it's far more easier, like the Panama Canal, far more easier for ships to use the Mediterranean Sea to cross through the Suez Canal into the Arabian Gulf. Is it a Gulf of Eden or is it Arabian Gulf? One of the two. The Arabian Gulf. As they call it, Gulf of Eden. Because that way the ships, rather than going through South Africa, the Cape of Good Hope, and coming back up again via the Indian Ocean, a very long journey, you cut that journey short by taking a shortcut. Britain built a toll gate in Africa. When NASA came in, NASA said, you cannot come here and be collecting money, tax on my father's land. You have to go. Britain said no. NASA took it over by force. I think it was Prime Minister Eden in England, in Britain, that sent British expeditionary force to go and retake Suez Canal that doesn't belong to Britain by force. The Suez Canal Company. They went into Suez Canal after 2 or 3 days. Eden got a phone call from the US president in no uncertain terms, told him to get away from there, it's not yours. That was how Britain withdrew. Because Britain listened to USA. Because USA take care of British interests as well. Now, do you understand how they play this politics? Do you understand it? In your own land, you cannot even bring about a simple change. Ordinary restructuring, not even freedom. Ordinary restructuring you cannot do. Always blowing useless, senseless grammar that has no meaning. After blowing grammar, there's no light. No hospital, no good roads. After blowing grammar and putting on tie in the middle of the afternoon, also swallow a sui. And I was so evil, speaking grammar all the time. And nothing is happening. Intellectuals everywhere. We mask our collective impotence by seeking solace in English language we don't even understand, most of us. Are always waiting for white people. We are not going to wait anymore. We are better off dead now. Okay, what are we doing with life? This stupid, useless life. A life where somebody can come from Mali with AK-47 and go to Zombe and decide to rape a grandmother. After raping the grandmother, you say they are misunderstood. You misunderstood them. They are my brothers. According to Sheikh Gumi. Is that the type of country you want me to be in? Are you mad? Are you sure you're well? Are you sure you are well? Are you sure you are well? Intellectuals everywhere. But now they have come back to that. Most of them have come back to the senses. We need to get off our lazy asses to make lives better for ourselves by seeking freedom for everybody. I said mass overdose of freedom. Freedom is like vitamin C. In actual fact, it has no overdose. More freedom is better for everybody. And that is the freedom that we are seeking for everybody. For every dick, every tongue, everybody must be free. Everybody must be free. They caged you in the zoo, treating you like animal, the same way they treated your fathers, they're treating you, and you take it. All you do is you complain, you mourn, and you go back and you sleep. Not in IPOB, we don't do that rubbish. Look at how successive governments in Nigeria adopted what I call the pauperization. I want to get it to some people understand. You know, when you turn somebody into a pauper, into a very poor, wretched soul, I call it the pauperization philosophy of the Fulani Janjaweed. You know what they do in their feudal system? They become wealthy by impoverishing everybody else. You have to be poor. Only their children will go to school. Only them will have houses in Dubai. The ordinary Hausa man on the street is doing Babial with no hope for his children. But even Fulanis are suffering. It's only the feudal laws. They have educated, semi-literate feudal lords of the Fulani. They brought in that mentality. Some of you don't know why you don't have light in Nigeria. Sometimes I look at it and I laugh. A country that has coal, abundance of it, you have wall-to-wall sunshine every blessed day. You have tidal waves along the coastal lines. You have dams. You build dams, yes? You have gas. Let me repeat. You can generate electricity through thermal, which is coal, through gas, through wind, through waves, sea waves, through hydroelectricity. All these things are in abundance. Some of you go to China, you see, they even make fake solar panels, and it works. A country of 200 million people cannot even utilize Kainji Dam that they built. A country of 200 million people they bring out gas from the ground. They ship this gas to Europe, to South America, to Asia. Those people, they have 24 hours electricity from the same gas that you're shipping from Ohaji. But people in Ohaji don't have any light. I don't know if I'm making sense. If people can understand what I'm saying. It's a lecture. People in faraway Japan that has nothing, they have light. People in Enugu that has coal under them, as you're walking in Enugu, it's all coal under you. They have no electricity. Do you see how stupid black people are? Sometimes, to be honest, if you sit down and begin to ponder how useless black people are, you will go outside and you commit suicide. I'm telling you the truth. It's a simple question. How come I produce crude oil no, you don't produce. God gave us crude oil. You export the crude oil in one barrel that contains everything from kerosene to paraffin to engine oil to plastic, everything. And then you only import petrol that you used to drive your car and diesel. Whereas you have refineries in your country. Let me be very honest. It's not pulverization. Pulverization is to make something disappear. That's to pulverize. Pulverize is to make something disappear, not pulverization. To impoverish somebody. Impoverishment. That is the philosophy of the Fulani. That's what they brought into Nigeria. So don't you know that? If they give you 24 hours electricity, which they can, all those girls they are taking to Dubai will not be cheap anymore because they'll have their own jobs, they'll have their own cars, they'll have their own businesses, they'll have their own mansion. That time you have to start buying flour and chocolate and behaving very well. No, that's the difference. Abroad, when you want to talk to a woman, you have to buy chocolate. You first start by begging. Can we eat together? That's why you may wait for 2 or 3 months to get reply. Then after that, you start to buy chocolate. You will know every brand of chocolate. You may buy one, you say, I don't want the one with milk inside it. I want original chocolate, the dark one that is 99% cocoa. You guys start looking for that one as well. Then after that one, you go into the business of buying flour. By the time you finish buying flour and chocolate and going out for dinner, you will know that khaki and leather are not the same. They don't want to go through that process in Africa. So what do? They impoverish everybody. They make the women desperate, looking for somebody to do their hair for them, to buy lipstick, to buy ordinary sanitary towel. Some of them don't have. Then now that makes them very cheap. Now do you see why they're doing it? Why is it? Why do you think they stopped you from the closed door? Industries were there before. You see, let me tell you, there is something people don't understand about Nigeria and people ruling you. I feel sorry for you people, honestly, because you are not educated. I'm sorry to say. You people are not educated. Nigerians don't know the meaning of education. Do you know there were factories before in Aba making glass? Today imported from China. There's a glass factory in Aba. Do you know there is a textile mill in Aba where they weave cloth? Do you know that in Aba they used to make soap and detergent? Today imported from China. Somebody sat down in Lagos as a government minister and head of state and destroyed all these businesses. The same person is telling you about one Nigeria. You took me out of my job that I was doing. That was the reason why PZ, Patterson Sokonis in Abade left. That was the reason why Lever Brothers left. That is the reason why Leventis left. Some of you may remember Leonard Shoes in Aba, even in Omaha. You may remember Bata Shoes in Aba, even in Omaha. In Omaha we had ceramics. We had Golden Guinea. Uncles were working there. Aunties were working there. Economy was very good. Nobody was complaining. Nobody was begging. All of a sudden, one single day, one idiot from Abuja and Lagos decided, let's make their life difficult. Ceramics was shut down. Golden Guinea Mine shut down. Olon Nampam plantation shut down. Glass factory in Aba is no longer working. And you know, let me tell you how evil they are. They come back and say, all these unemployed youths. But where the youths are supposed to be working, you as a greedy, evil, wicked politician, you shut it down. Now, after graduation, where do you want them to work? Because it's common sense. Some of you don't know that Michelin was in Lagos. They used to make tire in Lagos.
All right, I don't really know what happened to the tape. It looks like it's must be something wrong with my iPod. That's just kind of going off the air. All right, so far we've listened to our leader, and I had wanted to finish the entire thing because I never had the privilege of listening to it myself yesterday. But so far, so good. We are listening and telling us this is a great teaching, great university of Radio Biafra. Honestly, it's not something that somebody can absorb overnight. Every single day you listen to this station, our leader, especially when he's on air or his past broadcasts, it sounds as if the whole thing just started today. Fortunately or unfortunately for us, I don't know what happened to the tape, to be honest with you. It just skipped and then stopped playing. I have no control over that. It's fully charged. It looks like the iPad is actually getting old now, so probably telling me that it's time to go. It's like I see it poor because it doesn't have the energy to carry on. So let's see what time we have here. Okay, we have time enough for us to make a few calls here and there. And while you are getting ready to make these calls, the number here is 646-920-4541, 570-352-8442, +1 929 Let me keep reminding you that our ESN needs to be supported. Don't forget that. That should be at the back of your mind. Just go to our website, www.ipobinusa.org/donate. While I'm still doing that, I'm still trying to see if we can still get back to this broadcast, because I'm not very happy that it's just slip off. Meanwhile, let me take a call. Somebody's calling me on a straight line. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Make it very brief. 3 minutes for everybody, please. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Actors.
Ndewo, welcome to the program.
This is James calling from Bob. Please, I nearly cried hearing what Nandi said yesterday, because radio is not on yesterday to hear this.
Okay.
Thank you very much, please.
Ndewo.
And it was only 4 days ago that I could be able to catch this your number, because you used the call +646, but you don't add +1646.
Oh, okay.
I have been trying this number, so they say it's not in existence. It was when you call +16 that I was able to catch it.
It's okay.
Thank you for that.
Ndewo.
Getting to what our leader was saying, in fact, it is very painful.
Yes.
We have been living in darkness all these years.
Honestly.
May God help our people to realize what they have done to us. Even these people he's mentioned that banned all these things, Obasanjo demand, all those who have taken rule of this nation. I don't know what they are thinking about now.
I don't know.
If they can be able to hear this, if they can be able to hear our leader, in fact, this is supposed to. They're not supposed to leave. But I thank God that God will help us.
Yes.
Biafra will see Biafra.
God, it's true.
I will see that.
Ndewo.
Please, I'm requesting one thing from you before my time is up.
Yes.
This song you used to play, Biafra, that is a song.
Yes.
I've been trying to record it, but when I want to record it, you put it off. I don't know when you will play it full. Please.
Okay. I don't know when I will play it full, but sometimes just keep trying. One day I will play it in full. Maybe if I take a break, I will play it in full. It's quite a good song.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I'm from Adazian.
Ndewo.
Government.
Isikeo.
God bless you. God bless Biafra.
Bless all of us. Thank you, sir.
Death to Nigeria. Death to Nigeria.
Yes,
Death to
of course, they are dead already.
Shalom.
Ndewo. All right, thank you so much. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. We're still taking calls. Yeah, it's so sad, when you listen to this last broadcast. I'm telling you, the much that I have listened to it, because I told you yesterday, I completely escaped me. I didn't put my alarm to be able to tune into Radio Biafra at the time that it was going to do that broadcast. And I said to myself, okay, this morning, and I saw it. I said, okay, I'm going to, make sure that I add the entire thing for those of us who didn't listen to it yesterday. That's what I'm doing this morning, and unfortunately, I don't know what happened to the tape. It just slipped. I wasn't the one that recorded this, because normally when I record it, I make sure that things like this will not happen. I was just playing it out of the cloud, something that somebody sent to me. And unfortunately, now that it went off, if I go back to play it, probably it's going to start from the top, which I don't want. I don't want it to be that way. I want it to end, to start exactly where it stopped. However, the number is still coming: +1 646 920 4541 570 352 8442 +1. Anytime I call these numbers, please bear in mind that there's in front of it there's a +1. +1 is depending on where you're calling from, because this call is being taken in the United States. You have to add your own country code, then the number 1 before the actual number itself. Then my brother just corrected me. He said because I didn't say +1, he has been trying for years. He's not been able to get through. All right, I have a call coming in. Caller on straight line. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, Mazi Iyke. Good morning, sir.
Welcome to the program.
Yes, my name is Dominicano. I was calling from Cultural State Ugeb, sir.
Ugeb, welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. That report I give you that last time, Igbo.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, I take my eye and go there and check everything, and it's true.
Okay.
The car where they there plenty, sir.
Yeah.
Starting from Abomege.
Okay.
And call it Abomege.
Okay.
Then we try Abomege with the Cultural State boundary. Then you will call Igbo. After Igbo,
Okay.
they are there. All the whole car from Afipo, Amasere, Apoa, all of them moved to that place.
Okay.
And now they are disturbing our people now in farm. The village there in Igbo, they don't get men to pursue them. Now they are fighting for they are crying for help now.
Okay.
I take my eye and go there and investigate everything yesterday. Let me just say, I just drive, go there, I park and see everything there, and it's true.
Okay.
It's true.
All right.
So
Now
we hear
that
from that place now.
you have made the report, so let's wait. Something's going to be done about it. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt in my mind. You have said it. We've heard it on Radio Biafra. I know our authorities have listened. Our leaders have listened. So they are going to make sure that this nonsense is not going to stop. They're not going to. They can't stay in Biafra land. Forget about them. It's a temporal thing. Before you know it,
Yes, sir.
they will something will be done. Just be patient. All right. Let's be patient and hope that.
Doctor, sir.
Now that you've made the complaint, the important thing is for you to say it, and you have gone there to investigate it yourself and found out it is true.
Yes, sir.
Something will be done about it. Absolutely. There's no doubt. Thank you very much. Okay.
Doctor, sir.
There we go. Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
All right. This is Radio Biafra USA 2. We're still taking calls. Yes. +1 646 920 4541. 570-352-8442 +1 929-406-9953. I wish I had finished this broadcast that I was playing, but unfortunately, I don't know what happened. Like I said, I don't know exactly. I cannot tell you exactly what happened. The iPad just went off. It's still plugged on the electricity. It's fully charged. But Imago, there's so many forces, unseen forces that are fighting what we're saying. Our leader already told you that, when you listen to this last broadcast that he just said, ask yourself, you have a group of people that say they don't like you, you are criminal, you are this, you are that, and now you say, okay, I want to go. And they say, no, you can't go. Why will you go? I don't understand it, honestly, but it's just part of that force. And replica exactly what happened to the people of Israel. It's exactly what is happening to us. We're going, as a young person, to be honest with you, in this country, when I came to this country, I just took interest. I go to the library and I'm reading the story of the Jewish people, and I'm reading not even their story alone, I'm reading some of their doctrines. I read some Kabbalah, and I'm beginning to, the first thing I noticed, without being told, that we share such a common tradition. The tradition is so the same, so distinctly the same, that it wouldn't be a coincidence. My ancestors, my grandfathers in the community where I grew up, most of them were not educated. They didn't go to school. In fact, most of them were they were not really into religious thing or anything. So you don't say they read the Bible too much. But the tradition, the way they name us, our names were coinciding with the Jewish names. The coincidence was too much. It wasn't that if these people were educated people, sometimes when people go to school, they read a lot of books, and they can start saying something that is fantastic, as a fantasy or something they have read in a book and interpreted it their own way. But in this case, the people that are doing this, are giving us these names, are not in any way educated. They give us name Chibuzo. Okuchukwu. Okuchukwu in the Jewish tradition is Raphael. Ikechukwu is Gabriel, the power of God. So what is the coincidence? Because we are the same people. This is our tradition. You can't take it from us. Whatever step, when you check their step and their history, where they step in and step out is exactly where we're stepping in and stepping out. People hate us for nothing. The same thing between I'm telling you honestly. You will see people that will tell you about these people, they hate them to the core. But ask them, nothing. Nothing. The man has a building, he's coming, collecting his rent, everybody's paying the rent and still grumbling. You are living in his house. You know you're supposed to pay rent. He comes to pick up his rent. You are so angry with him for coming to pick up his rent. He said, look at him. Fool was he? He comes here with the same dress all the time. So what about? What has that got to do with it? It's just that natural thing which is even in us, in our own home. The Igbo man. Oh, Igbo man, they greedy. Igbo man, they this. Igbo man, do that. Igbo man, do that. When they say Igbo man, we talk about Biafrans. So tell me exactly what he has done. Nothing. Okay, you don't like him. He's greedy. He's wicked. He is whatever. Now he wants to be on his own. You say, no, you know, go. He must remain with me. Haba. It's hard to understand. But you know what? When it is time for us to go, we will go. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is in control. Honestly, I don't have any doubt in my heart. In my mind, I don't have one single iota of doubt about what's going to happen to Biafra. Look at people like the one in Owerri. They call what's his name? Ozodimba, whatever his name is. He will go and bring troops, soldiers to come and kill his own children. And then somebody will tell me, oh, you know, these governors, they are beginning to understand. What do you mean they are beginning to understand? How can somebody who has grown up to be a governor is beginning to understand? When a child that is born yesterday has understood it long time ago. And for him to have grown to become a leader, then you give him an excuse that he's beginning to understand. I saw a picture this morning on Facebook, and I'm looking at this picture. The one that calls himself Obiano is showing us the new commander of the army that they bring into Anambra and the commissioner of police. I didn't see Okeke or Okafo, no. It's Allah Abdul Salami or Abubakar, whatever. And then look at two of them that are standing in the picture. They look like, I just asked the question on Facebook, what do you see when you look at this? I just see Odibonan Naiuku. That's what I see. Slave and master. Look at him the way he even looks. And then look at the military man that is standing there at his side. You know, I think we have a problem. We have a serious problem in our hand. But you know something? It is easy enough. It is dying off. Gradually, we're getting there. We are absolutely getting there. The houses have been pulled down. It's just the foundation that we are trying to excavate. And as soon as we excavate it, we'll be on our own. And by the way, I forgot to announce to you yesterday, at 5 p.m. exactly in Biafra land time, my second grandchild came into the world, and I heard, you know, from Houston, Texas, where my daughter is, and they had a child. She had a baby yesterday, and Chukwunedum, that's his name, Chukwunedumu. Oh, I've just seen I've saw the picture from the when the baby was being washed off and everything. My wife is there with them and taking care. Maybe in a couple of weeks I will go to. Of course, now carry John Mogo. Forget about now. So Moai, but I'll work a while. So I'll go to Abugo at the proper time. Right now they are all scrambling to go. So I want to leave them, let them go to that Texas and enjoy themselves. Then when I go, I don't want anybody there with me. I'll take my radio with me and make sure that I'm on air all the time. This is Radio Biafra, so congratulations and happy. We thank God for the mother and the baby. That's our first baby, and that's my second grandchild, and I'm so happy to announce it. And you should say congratulations to me. I'll draw quite easy. Second time grandpa. So we are here. I'm still looking at see if I can go back to what I was doing. I don't know why this thing skipped, because we really needed to talk about this broadcast. This broadcast is, I don't know, Masinoya the best, because everything that he says looks like, anytime we hear it, it looks like it's the best. This one, it needs somebody. This is the kind of thing that when they say it, you have to close your eyes and go deep down into your soul, into your consciousness, to see the truth in what this man is saying. So it's not materialistic, it's spiritual. So we have to pray. Our leader have already told us, Saturday, I think they're going to start doing after Shabbat, they're going to be fasting 40 days, that will be announced. And after that, we will see our enemy. Look at it. Take a look at what is going on in the zoo. They are all dying one by one. All the cabal, in fact, they are beginning. They are so scared of even telling you now that they are members of the cabal because Hamana, what weighs them is 6 feet. The moment they say that, it's 6 feet. All right, let me take a very short break and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned, don't go away.
Wait for giving me this song. Hallelujah.
Must be free. Must be free. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, oh, hey, hey, hey. Oh, oh, hey, hey, oh. Hey, are you going to marry? Freedom, freedom, oh, freedom.
No, not. They say you won't go, but you are still a bad person. You're a miscreant. You're a terrorist. You are whatever they call you, and you want to go, and they won't let you go. But they are all speaking the truth. Ezioku is coming. Ezioku na abakono why. Every single day that we go, we hear things. Yesterday, I listened to one Alamajiri that was talking. He said Nigerians are cowards. I don't even know what his name was, but he closed his mouth and said every Nigerian is a coward. How come people will just come out with gun and then shoot back in the air and all of you will run? You don't want to stand up. That man might even have only 5 rounds of ammunition. The people that want to kill us are the ones that are now telling us that we are cowards. And I think they are right in a way. But you know something? Biafrans, we don't react very quickly. We take our time. The same thing with Jewish people. They killed them. They kept killing them according to our leaders' broadcast this morning. They kept killing them until those in Britain just got up and said, no, we must get our own state. It took time, but they got it. So Biafrans have been killed over and over and over. It started since 1945, the one that we can record. But in the end, we are special people. Darkness. That thing they call darkness, according to what our leader just said this morning, has no light, has no life. There is nothing called darkness. It's a nothing. It's just the absence of light. When you bring the light, then the darkness disappears. So it is just nothing. It's just there because there is no light. So what we are doing, we are throwing light into our life, and as long as we throw life into our land, the darkness will disappear. The negativity, Satan does not operate under the light, he operates in darkness. That's his dwelling place. So how do you get rid of it? You don't go to fight darkness. No, just put on the light. And everybody will take cover. It's like a dark place, a dark house. Strike one single matches, and it brings light to the place. You see all the like rats and lizards. All of them will run for cover because light has come. Darkness is a place for them. That's where they are supposed to live. That's where they live, actually, not where they are supposed to live. That's where they are. And so when you strike the match, it takes off that darkness. Darkness disappears. In other words, darkness is nothing. It's just the absence of light. All right, this is Radio Biafra. We're still here trying to take calls at 646-920-4541, 570-352-8442. All right, my brother who wanted to record these songs, over to you. I'll let it play it to the end so you can be a recording.
Called by the name of God, the Creator. Wise men from the east, south, and the middle. Great Biafran people. But they kill it to idol worship, and we lost the faith of our God. And as we were lost in idol worship, the British entered in. trading on the Niger, exploiting Jah people, trading by barter. You give me palm oil and take soup, so them enter there. I brought in civilization, brought in Jah religion, and told us about America, and we embraced them. I never knew them got ulterior motive. With religious pitted us amongst our brethren, with denomination tear us apart. Building churches, schools and hospitals. We never knew we had to pay this much to be your place forever. Oh, nah, nah. So we fought so hard against them systems, fighting against them schisms. We fought so hard against them systems, fighting against them schisms. But our lives have gone poor. At the very spot we left our America. Now is the time to be restored. Great Biafra be restored. I want freedom for my people. Freedom for Biafra. Ayo, Biafra, land of the rising sun. Land of the rising sun. Biafra, my home, my father. The descendants of Abraham. Biafra, from Father Isaac. Descendants of Jacob. Biafra is a reality. My originality.
Why are you people lying? Why don't you tell them they want an independent Biafra? Oh, they're fighting for their freedom. So we owe everything to Chukwuka Biama who asked us to come. Not by our own might, nor power, nor will, but by the grace of the Most High.
Back in 1914, amalgamation, colonial masters, criminal masters, a mercenary soldier named Frederick Lugar brought together all them captives, including Jah people, them Yorubas and them Ariwas, and so many other people called us Nigeria, Niger area. Oh, Nigeria, people with different religion, different beliefs, yeah, different in culture and tradition, different language, different in everything, overstanding on the reason first to coexist together in the plant of confusion, describe it as oil and the water that can never mix. Planted the cabals, them representatives here in Nigeria, looting all our treasures, colonial external marginalization of them Biafrans. Now is the time for manifestation. Now is the time to be restored. Great Biafra be restored. I want freedom for my people. Freedom for Biafra. Ayo, Biafra, land of the rising sun. Biafra, my home, my fatherland, my father.
Set them wide. Oh, we want freedom.
It's a radio station with more. You're listening to the radio station.
You're listening to.
You're listening to.
This is
Radio Biafra.
Radio Biafra.
We are not like other people. Because as I once reminded you before we came, there was nobody like us. Now that we are here, they pretend, they copy, they emulate, they fabricate falsehood. But they can never be like us. Long after we are gone, they will wish we lived forever. IPOB is very special. Exceptionally special. The largest mass movement in the whole world bar none. And we did it because Chukwokika Biama is with us. We did it because Chukwokika Biama created IPOB himself. And we are here to pilot its affairs. We will not prevaricate. We will not stop. We will not slumber until Biafra is fully restored to its former glory. Anybody in doubt as to our resilience and our determination to restore Biafra is not only mistaken, not only misguided, but needs to see a psychiatrist. Because we are not stopping. I am a Nnamdi Kanu and I don't stop until I get what I want.
All right, what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to go back to that broadcast that I just aired. So what I'm going to do to it is probably work on it to make sure that it doesn't happen again, and I'll try to start it exactly where it stopped. That'll be for tomorrow. But for today, let me go to this clip here as a Mazi Iyke's meeting with our brothers in the Riverine area. They had a meeting, and I never listened to this. Well, I did listen to it a little bit better. I didn't listen to the whole thing in full. So to cover all the time, we have to go into this and listen to it and make our comments based on this one. All right, this is just a conversation that they had with our...
You must listen very attentively this evening. It is very, very important. If you are not attentive, if your faculties are not switched on, there is no way you can follow this very gospel. There is no way you can understand it. If you have come with your pen and paper, you are a very good student, and unto those people shall this very knowledge be impacted this evening. We start by laying the foundation of coronavirus that the world may understand. Everything we preach here is the truth. Not minding the very best efforts of the rulers of the damnable zoological republic to try to spin it. Otherwise, the truth remains that on this very platform we do not lie, cannot lie, because we're not allowed to. We are under divine instruction. You must listen this very evening and...
So sorry, that's not what I actually wanted to air. Let me go back to it and listen to this.
Of course, without delay, I believe I should quickly introduce the moderators that will be anchoring this very great occasion. The person of Comrade Tamono Toye, and the person of Comrade Dudu Oviemuno. I greet every one of you. So I will say we should have a very short break. But by the time we will come back, I believe we'll be coming with our leader on board. All hail Biafra. You're welcome, sir. My leader.
Thank you very much.
The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Iyke.
Thank you.
To the light of Africa. We thank you for joining us despite the stress and that. We truly appreciate you, sir. Let me quickly hand over the mic to my to the moderators who are going to moderate tonight's live interaction, or should I say interactive question and answer from the stakeholders and the chiefs and the Igwes and some of their representatives who are going to be joining us tonight. Here is the first moderator, the person of and we have Tamono Toye, area of Tamono Toye in the house. My moderator, over to you.
Yes, thank you very, very much, Asawa Ego. We welcome you all. We say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're joining us from. Good evening from here, my leader, Mazi Iyke. We welcome you, sir, to this question and answer or interactive session, as we say, from the people from the coastal region. We have a couple of our stakeholders. We have some of the chiefs, as Asawa has said earlier. Before we go ahead, my name is Iriawo Tamunotonye. I'm from Bukuma. Bukuma Kingdom is in Kalabari, and that is an Izon speaking part of Biafra land. Without further ado, I'll ask you to please share, so it will get to our enemies, and it will get to also our loved ones and anybody who doesn't know about this great project. I'd like to introduce my co-moderator in person of Idudu Oviemuna. Idudu, will you kindly say hello to the house? And I would like to ask our leader to please lead us in an opening prayer. Sir, please. Idudu, please, can you greet the house so we can take the opening prayer and proceed for today? Thank you very much. All hail Biafra.
Yeah. Good evening from here. My leader, I greet your president and I greet you. Yeah, my name is Idudu Ovimuno. I am from Ozoro community. It's a community in Isoko Nation. Isoko is in Biafra land. Today is an honor to be in the presence of my leader, Mazi Iyke, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And as we proceed, we encourage every one of you to share and share as we hand over the microphone to our leader to give us an opening prayer as we proceed to a questioning and answering interaction section from the coastal region of Biafra land. Thank you very much. All hail Biafra.
Biafra, thank you very much. I thank all of you here assembled, especially our stakeholders and our leaders in the coastal region of Biafra. I prefer to call the southern region of Biafra. And it is with great pride and humility that I'm sharing this platform with each and every one of you. And I am going to pray a very brief prayer. Our Lord God Almighty in heaven, the creator of the heavens and the earth, who determined that his children that he has chosen should inhabit a corner of a region of Africa from where the sun rises from. You have brought us together because we are one family by blood, not just by customs or tradition, but we are one people that you have decreed must be free in a time like this. We know that the enemies will not stop. We know they will not relent in doing all that they have been doing and will continue to do to divide your children. But we are praying for your mercy. We are praying for your love. We pray that you grant us the spirit of discernment, the spirit of an ability to be able to see what the enemy intends for us. As we gather here today, may all our deliberations yield the desired result that will give praise unto your holy name and propel the coming of Biafra. May we all keep, preserve each and every one of us as we embark on this noble quest, that in the end, every glory, every honor, every adoration will be unto your holy name now and forevermore, we pray. Say.
Thank you very much, my great leader. It is an honor to be in your presence once again, because of course everyone knows, and even the enemies in their grave, they know that you are the sent one, and of course we must continue. And before we do, I will encourage every one of us, our stakeholders, our leader, and our chief, the kings among us, please, immediately when we ask our questions, please let us kindly leave the forum after our questions have been answered, because we have a lot of people backstage who will also be participating in this very occasion. So as we know that time is no more our friend. So I will encourage us, as you're coming in, please mute your mic. So please, we don't want anything distraction. Mute your mic as you're coming in. Thank you very much. Over to you, my moderator, Tamonotoye.
Yes, thank you so much, Asawo, for this opportunity. So we are going to be going with our first, with the first person to address our leader today, and that is Mr. Isaac Oletu. So, Mr. Isaac, over to you. Kindly, you have the floor. You have 3 minutes to ask our leader the question that it's on your mind, and you're going to get your answer. Thank you very much.
Yeah, first of all, let me introduce my name. I hope I'm coming out loud.
Loud and clear, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I am Mr. Isaac Oletu, a member of Isoko Development Union. I'm from Araya community in Isoko South. The first question here is this. First of all, let me thank Mazi Iyke for the things he has been doing. I've been following the program, and I see the good work he has been doing. But it seems as if Isoko is not being much in the interest of the Biafran people. Why is this? Number one, the Eastern Security Network that was created, and I find out that the Eastern Security Network is in every other place, but there is no Eastern Security Network in Isoko land to protect the Isoko people. Or are we not one again? That is one. Secondly, when you came out from prison, and I find out that you were touring around some areas, you went to River State as well. But Isoko was not visited. You didn't visit Isoko people. And you didn't even come to Delta State. So my question is why? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your question. I want to make one thing very clear. We are not going to go into any area that is not fertile for us. For ESN to be in Isoko we need Isoko sons and daughters to be in ESN so we can deploy them to Isoko with the backup that is needed. That is how we operate. Or else our enemies will run to Zoom media and start to write their usual rubbish about Igbo takeover of Isoko. They will not start from where the history started from. That Isoko and Igbo people, that all of us, we are one anyway, but there is a lecture for another day. But for the purposes of this very gathering, we are working on it. And very soon you will have ESN in Isoko. We are doing a lot of work, even across the Godomigodo as well. We are doing a lot of work. And why didn't I come to Delta? I was on my way to Ogoniland when I was attacked at Robakana. I think that was around the 10th or 11th of September of 2017. On my way to Ogoniland, maybe they got hint of the fact that I was traveling to Ogoniland. They didn't want me to go there. They attacked me. They nearly killed me at Robakana. In fact, after this program, I'll ask for that very video to be released so that the world can see it. That was what truncated our plans. I would have come to Delta. One thing that people don't know is that all throughout that period, I was based in Asaba. I wasn't in my house. I was living in Asaba. That's where my base was. Most people will know that before I enter, as I'm driving towards Head Bridge, they will see me. As I'm coming back, they will see me. Our people. Gone, as I was living in Asaba myself. So I was in Delta State myself during that very period. But events prevented me from touring as extensively as I wanted to because of the attack at my house, as you well know, a couple of days after that on the 14th of September. So if I had time, I would have come to Delta, to Isoko. A lot of arrangements were made for me to visit. All the clans, all the nationalities of Biafra land, but events overtook us because the zoo came to kill our people, as you well know. But as soon as conditions are okay, of course I will do it. But you are going, if this night, because I know it is night where some of you are, even if tonight you're saying that you have even up to 50 people, Isoko sons and daughters, make them available. My secretary is here. Contact her, give her a name of a person who can, I'm not asking for much, only 50. Then you see ESN there overnight. Thank you very much.
Imiete, my leader. Over to Idudu Oviemuna.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll make it very brief. I would like to use this opportunity to move to the next person, the person of Mr. Lily Barry. Lily Barry, I would like you to throw your question to our leader, Mazi Iyke, so that he will answer your question as we proceed. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Greetings to everyone and greetings to our great leader, Mazi Iyke. It's a privilege to be here and for the first time to have meeting with you directly on this Zoom. The last time I saw you was when I came to your house before the attack in 2017. Tonight I want to ask few questions that has been a burden in the heart of our people. My name is Goswi Lele Barikwaloba. I am from village called Luawe in Kana, local government area of Ogoni in Biafra land. My question is, number one thing that bothers the Ogoni people is they talk about domination. And they said that if Biafra comes, will it not be that the Igbos will be in charge of everything and the Ogoni people will be put down or possibly be made to be slaves in their land? Some of them cite reference to before the war, they said, I wasn't there myself, they said that Igbos were in charge of everything in Bori, in Ka, to the point that the Ogonis have to pay taxes to them. Women coming from farms have to pay tax, and the markets were decided which day to open and which day to close by the Igbos. That these are the things that they faced at the time, even before the Civil War. So these fears still remain the heart of some of our people, and they are afraid that if Biafra comes this time, are we not going to face such scenario again? Number 2 of my question is the issue of Oyibo and Obibo. Oyibo and Obibo, our people believe that Oyibo belong to Ogoni people. That is the belief. And each time this thing is dragged, it is as if we said it that the Igbos have come to take over and all that. So the Oyibo issue is one of the reasons why our people, the Ogoni people, some of them still believe that they are not part of Biafra or don't want to come out fully to support the struggle. Number 3, the Ogoni struggle. The Ogoni 9 that died in 1995, they were hanged for trying to ask for their right. And this also is one key factor in Ogoni land. They felt that they have something they are also trying to get. And for this reason, whether or not they are doing it, they feel they needed a separate state. And this is one of the reasons. And they have also, accused our leader that each time he talks about Kensaro Winwa or the Ogoni 9, that he berates them and, put them in a position as if they deserved to have died. And these are some of the issues raised by some of our elders. Then number 4, I would like our leader to, by this meeting also, throw light on how is it going to be finally when Biafra comes. What is the fate of the Ogoni people? Because some are afraid that it will be another Nigeria scenario. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Lily Barry Godswill. Yes, can we have our leader answer that if it's clear? Thank you very much.
Thank you, I'm here. I will mix I think by the 2 answers I'll provide, it will have taken care of the 4 questions that you asked, Godswill. I know, I respect your diligence. I like the work that you're doing. And the work that I believe that the Ogoni nation will do in Biafra in years to come. The thing is this. Let me start with Obibo. What was the name before it was changed to Oyibo? The name was Obi Igbo. That's the name. But it's a small, tiny piece of land. Why would anybody say that a small, tiny piece of land is the reason why they don't want to seek their freedom? I find it astonishing. A small, tiny piece of land. That doesn't mean anything. That is more important than all the pollution happening around us. I have said this before, allow me to repeat. I want everybody, I want every nationality within Biafra to be on their own. And when people talk about Ogoni, this is one thing that I don't quite understand. I don't know how white people did this thing to us. A white man came into our land, divided us so much that we do not know who we are anymore. Ogoni cannot live in isolation. Every clan, where we come from, Arochukwu is a clan of people. Do you understand me? We have clans all over the place. The Oru people, these people that came from Igodomigodo to settle in the present day Ihiala, they are a clan of their own. Ibuku is a clan of their own. Nobody is saying that they are separate. No man can be an island. You didn't fall from heaven. You must have come from somewhere. I was the people going about looking for my relatives.
This work we are doing now, or that culminated in what we are having today, I started this work as far back as 1997 to unite our people. 97, 98, to unite our people. Because I know who my relatives are. If you're my relative, why wouldn't you be comfortable being with me? That is the same thing that used to happen. If you see this thing that you're saying about people having this fear about Igbo domination, do you know that where we come from? I'm from so-called Abia State. Let me use it for the purpose of this very meeting. Do you know that in Abia State, in those days, they used to say Anambra people are the problem, they will dominate us. If we get Biafra tomorrow, Anambra will dominate. You go to Enugu, that was the same argument that CCONO was making. If we are free, then Anambra will dominate. That he was saying why white people will suffer. It's something that we're having with the Ogoni people. I don't like it. We are one people. But that doesn't mean we are going to run down anybody's culture or way of life. If you go to Abreba, Ejagam, Abreba and Ejagam people are the same thing. One people. A white man came, he used Willings Commission, they used their boundary commission to cut us into pieces. When I was at Government College, my alma mater, we went to the same school. We are one people. But sometimes we allow minor things to get into our way of reasoning. We allow meaningless inferiority complex to overtake us. I am from, so to say, Abia State today. But I don't think there is any Anambra man or woman who doesn't believe in my leadership. But many years ago, people will say, oh, if you're not from Anambra, nobody will follow you. Only them wants to do. That is all rubbish. I don't believe in it. Obibo is nothing. If relocating the whole people in Obibo to another land to make our people become part of Biafra, then so be it. All those things are meaningless. We all want to be free, to grow our economy, to live in a land we're all going to be very proud of. I said it during my brief broadcast a while ago. Anytime that somebody tells you an Igbo man wants to suppress you, that person is your enemy. We believe in autonomous community. I'm not saying they are not horrible. Of course, there are horrible people. People have come out to say before, only Anambra can rule. Is this stopping us from doing what we are doing? People are bound to have their own opinion. And the fate of Ogoni people within Biafra is very simple. If Ogoni wants to exist as a separate entity on their own, they're more than welcome to do so. If they want to look for their people, their flesh and blood, then they're more than welcome to do so. But everybody is going to be free in Biafra. We are going to take freedom to the grassroots. Languages will be preserved, everything, nobody. I have said before, we are going to have independent nations within Biafra. Because I want to speak Igbo language. I don't want anybody to, I don't want to force anyone to speak Igbo. I mean, I love Ibibio language. I don't want anybody I don't want Ibibio language to go into extinction. I don't want Ogoni language to go into extinction. I want all these languages to be respected. I want their culture to be respected. We are going to build something unique that will astonish the white man. The white man came to try to make us, mold an identity for us. And that is very, very wrong. I do not disparage the Ogoni, and I actually went to see Mite. I think that's one of them, the one that survived. I went to his office to see him in the year 1998. His office used to be around Niger Street. Me, myself, I went there to see him face to face personally, to preach to him what I'm preaching to you today. Mite, his name is Mite, the lawyer. He knows me. I went to see him. And we're communicating for very many years until we lost communication. The only guarantee you need in Biafra is the Constitution of Biafra. And in that very Constitution, the right of every individual and clan, should they wish to go or the separate ways is enshrined. In our new Constitution of Biafra, anybody who wants to leave Biafra and be on their own is more than welcome to do so. Every nationality within Biafra will have their own national anthem and their own flag. Their own identity will be respected. Our police are not going to carry any guns. The army cannot invade anywhere on somebody's authority. So we're not going to run a totalitarian state. So nobody has anything to be afraid of. I respect Ken Saro-Wiwa. I respect what he fought for in the end. All I tried to point out and to fault was the beginning. If we were together as one family, do you think we would have killed him? Of course not. That is why division is not good, especially within a family.
The reason why I don't want Nigeria to stand is because we are not one people. You must understand this. We are not the same people. I want everybody to be on their own. And as for what I want to, when I talk about cancer, I want to lecture our people that the only person who can defend you is your brother. And this is what I wanted to preach on that very day. You came to my house, arrangements were made for me to go to Goniland, but it wasn't possible because I was attacked on my way to Goniland. If not, I will come before the elders to preach something that I'm preaching to you now. We have to be one. When we go and get freedom, then we can go our separate ways if we want. But to tell me that an Igbo man will travel from Igbo land and go to Goniland to tell them what to do when Biafra comes is rubbish. Bunkum. Cannot happen. I won't allow it. An Igbo man cannot go to Igede. If Igede wants to be on their own, they be on their own. Nobody can force anybody to do anything. All these things will be in our constitution. And everybody will get the right to vote according to clan. Every clan will vote to join. If Ogoni votes and says they don't want to join Biafra, I wish them all the best with Fulani Janjaweed. But if they come with Biafra, I know the type of future that awaits them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We are going to take another question from our comrade Marlin. Please, Comrade Marlin, you can ask your question. Thank you very much.
Good evening, my director, able leader. May the Lord guide you to the end of the struggle. And may He strengthen all the people involved to the end of the struggle in achieving the Biafran Confederate Republic. I am Comrade Marlin Tubobwe by Nimorio, shortly called Tubo Nimorio, a Nembe man from Nembe local government, Bayelsa State. That is Biafra territory, from where the name Biafra was introduced by the king of Nembe, who discussed it with Ojukwu before he gathered the Zon elders, and they asked Francis Franco Pigo to officially drop the name Biafra in the Eastern Traditional Consultative Assembly meeting. So I am rightly from the soil. Mingiten of Nembe was the king that first discussed the name Biafra with Ojukwu, even though it was given to the territory from Ghana to Senegal and other areas by the Portuguese. Now, having said so, I also visited our director on the 8th of August 2017 before he was attacked on the 14th of September. I want to thank you for all that you have done. Now, my question. I observed that something is going wrong in Bayelsa State, not with the coordinator, but the volunteer side of Bayelsa. The the commander of the volunteer in Bayelsa State is said to be Baratwaipre Onfre Charles from Nembe and Tuon in Brass local government.
Sorry, please. I think we lost him. The moderators to go ahead and bring in another person so that we can have fresh people, because we still have a lot of people backstage who are waiting. We have some of our kings who asked to be brought in due to technical issues. They said they would like to come in through normal call. So because some of our elders are not digital, so I think that would be a best option.
Okay, Asao, could you possibly bring in one of the traditional rulers so they could ask their question?
I think Comrade Merlin is back. Please, Comrade Merlin.
So they actually don't hear me. It's like they didn't hear me well.
We can hear you. We can hear you, Asao. Please, you can continue with your question. You have 2 minutes.
Like, we are not hearing.
Can you hear me now?
We are not hearing.
Asawa Marlene, can you hear me now? Okay, Asawa Eagle, can we have somebody else? You could maybe he could go out and come back in because I think his network is quite poor.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly, sir. Go ahead.
Elder Abba, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead. We hear you.
Abba speaking.
Okay, can I go on?
So, uncle.
Can Elder Abba go on?
I have His Highness here. I have His Royal Highness here. Please, sir, introduce yourself and go ahead with your questions. But you have 3 minutes, sir.
Our leader, Biafra, and what is the guarantee of the safety of the Southerners? That is my question. My contribution, where the Southerners in those South need security, adequate security.
You know anything about?
Policing need security to work effectively, like patrol van and arms and ammunition to secure the land of Biafra. Thank you.
Hope, my leader, you can hear the question very well.
I can hear the question. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Oh, very good, because the video is frozen. His Royal Highness, I am humbled, sir, because of your position, your eminence. You abandoned all of that to come to speak to us. And I'm very grateful to you, sir. I'm very grateful to you. I'm humbled to be talking to you. We are going to secure everywhere in Biafra land once we get enough people from that locality. You know that because of what the enemies planted within us for many, many years ago, if we move in ESN made up of predominantly Igbo officers with arms and ammunition into a particular area, they will say we have come to take them over. Punch newspaper will write the next day, or Nation, that we have come to take over a place. There are Igbos running around here. So that is why we need local people. Once they are up to 50, only 50 local people, that will then enable us to come in to be able to provide every logistics, because all we are trying to provide is backup, but the bulk of the work is going to be done by the local people. So once we have local people, we'll move men and material into that very area to secure it. And we'll drive the Fulanis away. It's what we've been doing, and we'll continue to do it. We don't want to leave any part of Biafra, but we need local people. I'm very glad that you, as a traditional ruler, is making this request or saying this, because we don't want to leave any part of Biafra land for these people to control. As I said before, which I'll keep repeating until the distinction, is that what we are fighting for is freedom for everybody, not for one person to lord it over another person. And our constitution, the constitution of Biafra, which will be the best in the whole world, will make it very clear. The rights and the freedoms to be enjoyed by every citizen and every nationality must be protected. I said must be protected. So we intend to start implementing that now. Give us local people and we'll move men and materials into the area. Thank you.
All right, the advice is very, very clear. You see, that's a strategy, actually. Our leader just said something here that's very important. The moment the volunteers move in there and the locals are not part of it, the same people say, okay, see, we told you the Igbo people, they are coming to take over our land. No. If you want to be part of it, you want that protection that you're asking for. Be part of what is going on. 50 people, they're young people there. Walking around the community, they have nothing to do because of the situation in the country. They're jobless, they don't have a job. They're walking around. Let them just come out, make yourself available to defend your own people. That will make more sense. If you can agree with me. So the strategy, what our leader is saying now is, it's, I wouldn't say common sense, because common sense is not prevalent in Nigeria. Nigeria is not a place where people use their common sense. They just do what people tell them to do. So our leader is very correct. I wish I had seen this, I had heard this earlier on the program. Maybe you could have started with it. But however, our struggle is such that anything that they said last year and you bring it in today, it sounds like it's just happening now. So that's the way it is. The truth will always prevail, because we are very honest and truthful in what we are doing, and nothing will make us change. We don't have to change because we already spoken the truth. And once you speak the truth, it will always be the truth. It can never change to something else. It's only when you lie that you start thinking before you alter anything, because you don't know, you tend to forget what you said the day before. So with this, I don't think I need to take any call from anyone, because the time is up. We are gonna go. Gonna make room for the next broadcast that is coming in. Unfortunately, today I didn't conclude anything, so I would. But it's not bad. At least we learned something. We learned something from our leader. These two tapes that I just aired today. Tomorrow, I am going to try very much to make sure that I complete the broadcast of the 23rd, which went halfway before the tape slipped. And we're going to run into that. Then the day after that, we're going to go into this other one, this interactive, that is very important also with our brothers in the South. The little complaints here and there, they are taking, all these things never happened when we were growing up, to be honest with you. Before the war, before the Biafra war, all this stuff didn't exist. We used to curse ourselves out in the schools, but eventually we know that we are the same people. There's nothing different. I know the different tribes in the school, we make mockery of ourselves, but every tribe, believe me, we had nickname for them. And we still knew that we're brothers. It's these people those nicknames that we use as a joke was what the white man came in, the Nigerian government, the Fulani, when they wanted to divide the country, the British came in and said, see, he's calling you names, forgetting that there is no tribe. There's no tribe in the South, in the Biafra land, that doesn't have a name. We call some people Ndewawa, we call some people Ijekebe. These are nicknames. So what? It didn't, all that language, we had them. But the young people, for us, it was just a joke. In the schools, we do it in the school. I know somebody who was punched out in the school, was beaten up because he called somebody Wawa, and the guy from Enugu, and the guy is very strong. So he knocked him out. We enjoyed it. That didn't mean we were different. The British man came in there and created that division that we took very seriously. We took it seriously because our leader just said something here. The greatest protector no matter what happens, your brother, your sister, your family is your family. It can never be the same. Somebody from the outside think they can come in and you think somebody outside will save you? No. The Fulanis, they play that game very well. They know. They come and tell you, okay, you see, you betrayed your own people and you expect me to trust you? Of course. You should not. They spoke about Ken. I remember the story our leader told about Ken Sarawa and the abandoned property issue. They took him, they used him. Unfortunately for him, to be honest with you, he made a mistake, but when he realized he made a mistake, he wanted to correct the mistake. It was too late. Oh yes. Because the man was there, they made promises, what they were going to do, the war ended, and 30 years along the line, nothing has happened. And the man said, what is going on? They accused him of one thing and they hung him. Because he's not their brother. You can't do that to your own family. Because they know, the moment the enemy sees and knows that you are fighting your own brother, boom, that's when he comes in. That's when he comes in. You see this idiot, that they call Uzodima, they're going to hang him publicly. Just watch. Because they already know that he is not in terms of his own people. So you expect them to trust you? Well, forget it. It's never happened. Ever will it never happen. They'll hang you the day you are not useful to them anymore. They'll make sure they get rid of you. All right, with this, I will have to bring this program to an end for today. But tomorrow we'll be here again. Don't go away because Mazi Iyke USA 1 is coming. He's clearing it to take the podium. From here, goodbye. Don't forget, Biafra is our religion and Radio Biafra is what we worship. University of Radio Biafra is the greatest university in the world. If you listen to Radio Biafra, believe me, you'll be wiser and wiser and wiser. And we are on 247. And the most interesting thing, very good about it, you pay for knowledge, don't you? But this radio is free. All you need to do is get an app and listen to it. Don't forget to support our ESN, our people. www.ipobinusa.org is the website. Donate.